Hello, everybody. My name's Llama Joe, and welcome to our channel. All right, we are back with the letter. Like, I really don't know what choice to make here. Because burning the letter keeps a fire contained, but burning the mansion could be good. I don't think either one's gonna get rid of the curse. However, I do think that if you burn the mansion, it'll prevent other people from being cursed. But then I'm also afraid, because if you burn the letter since it's a contained fire, like, it's not gonna kill anybody. But if you burn the mansion, like, what if someone gets, like, trapped and caught in the fire and, like, bakes alive or something, right? Ugh. I saved here, right? Yeah, I did, okay. We're gonna burn the mansion. Let's do it. I'm going to regret this, I will. With these cries growing louder, this has become the easiest decision I have ever made. I'm getting tired of hearing this sobbing, really. Just irritating. Isn't she getting tired of it? Besides, someone has to act fast, think fast, and what else is the root cause of our problems but this place where the letter was found? No need to make things more complicated. It started here. Why won't it end here? If what Lily has said is true, then there's all the more reason to destroy it. Put an end to this madness before someone thinks of putting this bastard place up in the market. When I get out of this place, I swear I'm suing a bunch of people who run that estate company to the ground if need be. We spent millions, damn it. Millions. With a sigh and perhaps a heavy heart, I opened one of the drawers of my study table. Taking a bottle of liquor out for myself and passing on to every occupant of the room. They accepted, but not without a look of protest or confused glance my way. It does shut them all up, so maybe I've done something good.
This isn't the time.
Even more when I pop the cork off the bottle and pour its contents on the floor.
What are you simpletons waiting for?
We waste no time dousing the whole room, the smell of alcohol filling the air. Okay, they're at least containing the fire into this room and it'll spread. Okay, that's the smart way to do it, but I don't know. If I don't know any better, I'd say they're more than eager to set this whole place on fire. And the blaze catches easily in this room when I set it alight using a blasted paper as kindling. Nice. So this is why he ended up burning both. So. With the whole place drenched with wine and all manner of things alcoholic I've been hiding from Hannah, the small fire soon turns into an inferno. In a matter of seconds, we're out the door. It doesn't exactly lead where I'm hoping it will. Although ending up in the kitchen does give us more reason to play like a bunch of pyromaniacs. Fishing the liquor stocks from the cupboards, we also do the same thing we've done in the study. Door after door, in every room we pass, pouring bottle after bottle of expensive, aged liquor and setting everything on fire, only leaving once the blaze has started in earnest. When we run out of liquor, we simply drop the bottle and take one of many nooks I've stashed one. And there's no lack of it in here. The hard stuff, the shorts, the watered down kind. Gifts from a distant relative. Friends, so-called friends, you name it. I made sure there's always one within reach.
How many of these things do you keep in this house?
I always have a few bottles in the bedroom, you know, the parlor and the dining room.
You have problems, man.
Well, isn't this the time to discuss them?
Oh, that's too funny. You have problems, man. Turns out it'll be useful now. Not to drown out my sorrows, but for this wonder of wonders. I suppose I can say it has also saved my life. But there's no time for some introspection now, because with each room we pass and burn, the place also becomes easier to navigate. As if it's slow righting itself, returning to what it's supposed to be. Soon we finally find ourselves standing before the main door. The strong odor of burning wood, cloth, and varnish alike wafts from under the doors of the rooms we previously torched. Also, isn't the butler still handcuffed up? So I guess he burns to death, maybe. I don't know. I think I kind of heard his voice when all the voices in the walls were going, so he might already be dead, actually. Slowly filling the hall with a thick black smoke. The blaze has also started in earnest in every part of the house. I can already feel the heat seeping from the rooms I've set aflame. In a matter of minutes, flames will engulf the whole house. Fittingly, that is when she appears again before us, watching us from the top of the stairs while a word goes up in flames around her. However, what catches my eyes is that expression on her face. Not the vile smile I've already grown accustomed to, or the one where her eyes gleam with complete hatred. This one? Alone is the only word I can think to describe it.
Please, Help me. Help me, please.
Can the dead still feel? Can she hear us? Or is that merely another one of her tricks to trap us in this nightmare? Like this, however, she seems almost like the woman she used to be. And I don't waste any time pondering over it. Not with the exit just a few steps away. The door's finally open, and through it, I can glimpse the world outside. Safety. However, I do turn, if only to see the last of her. A farewell more than anything. For all her attempts to lure me, draw me in, her wishes to be with me, she does not stop me when I finally run from this horrid place. Quietly, she disappears. Well, they made it out at least. Watching a multi-million-pound house burn before me. For some reason, nothing about this bothers me. Maybe it's that one last look on her face that has changed it. Maybe it's what I've seen and heard inside. There's only a calm. A stillness. The same hush that comes after a terrible storm has swept the countryside. And with it is the sight of the sun rising above the horizon. Ever so slowly, the sky begins to lighten before my eyes. Darkness giving way to the warm morning hues, soft rays spinning over the vast expanse of Luxburn's countryside. Nearby, the trees sway and rustle with the breeze. A passing draft that carries even into this room from outside, cold enough to make me shiver. The remains of a storm that has passed. In the distance, I can hear the soft chirping of birds while the rest of the world stirs, wakes. Dawn at last. We are free. Oh, it ain't over. Ain't no way it's over. Despite initial protests, Luke agreed with Isabella Santos. He began dousing the place with alcohol and setting it on fire. Sure enough, as flames slowly engulfed the place, it returned to its original state, freeing them. Outside, at the first light of dawn, the mansion burned to the ground before their eyes. It's over. Whoa, really? No. No. Holy. It's over? I'm not sure I like this, actually. Alright. Like the flames that engulfed the mansion that night, whispers quickly spread across Luxburn City after the incident. Officers who investigated it have simply deemed it an unfortunate accident. Regardless of the truth, Luke Wright files criminal charges against Briar Realty Corporation after... Zeppelin. For undisclosed reasons to the public, forcing the Latcher to declare bankruptcy. A move that has merely stoked the rumors further. But, for those who still believe in the stories of the old and those who know the truth, it is but a testament to the curse and the secrets the Ermengarde mansion has hidden for centuries. If there will come a time for those who will finally be revealed, only the ashes of the now ruined mansion know. However, on nights when the wind howls and thunder booms across the sky, some still claim hearing of voices where it once stood. Of cries and wails that fill the nights and desperate calls for help for anyone who dares listen. As for those who once tread its halls, despite their best efforts to make things work between them, for the sake of their children, Luke and Hannah Wright were unable to settle their differences. Oh. In the end, the latter files for a divorce. For several months, they become the subject of gossips in the mass media in the city. In spite of this, the two have uncharacteristically remained tight-lipped on the circumstances of their separation. Though many assumed it's the inevitable falling out stemming from the trouble during the couple's housewarming party. To everyone's surprise, however, Luke Wright quietly accepts the court's decision and disappears from the Evans heiress life without creating much fuss. Even after Hannah Evans has given birth to their children months later, the man is rarely seen around the family. merely leaving his children paltry gifts in the mailbox whenever he's in town, never showing his face. With the Wright couple separation, also comes the Wright-Evans conglomerate split up. Although the Wright Enterprise still manages to do well in the business with Evans Incorporated back as a competitor, other Tech League places its CEO and the company under a legal spotlight months later. This time, however, with then Chief Inspector Harvey Lee's sudden absence, the businessman isn't able to escape close scrutiny. In an investigation headed by LPD's Detective Inspector Ashton Frey, all of Wright Enterprise's illegal business dealings within the past 10 years come to light. I mean, I'm glad Luke's getting his, but, like, I'm sad about the divorce, though. Although his involvement with other crimes is still being investigated, the disclosure has caused a huge outcry, especially from the city's business sector. Sued on multiple grounds, the company is ultimately forced to shut down. Oddly, when Luke Wright steps out of his office one last time, there's only a small smile on his face. To avoid public outrage, the once affluent businessman immediately leaves the city. All of his bank accounts have been emptied, including his Luxburn apartments, leaving not a single trace or clue where he might be hiding. The last anyone had seen of the man was on a flight bound for Ireland. Till this day, no one has heard from him. Not even Hannah Evans. Even his people from the old Wright Enterprise, who have all been left to deal with the aftermath. Though, over the past few months after the situation has calmed, some have made claims of spotting him, flitting in and out of the city. If only to check on those he has left behind. I've got so many problems with this! Following the company split, Hannah Evans reestablished as Evans Incorporated, becoming its CEO like her late father has always wanted for her. Though a bit out of practice and doubted by many people at first, the Evans heiress quickly finds her bearings and proves to be every bit as talented in the business as her parents. Soon under her management, the new Evans Inc. flourishes, becoming one of the prime investment and finance companies in Luxburn City. Months after her recovery, Marianne McCullough heads back to her homeland, ready to close a chapter of a past she has left hanging for so long. There, she visits Lorraine's grave, asking for forgiveness from the girl she once loved, something she has intentionally avoided for years. Although the terror of what she has witnessed inside the Ermengarde mansion still clings to her, she bravely chooses to move on from it, turning a new leaf by focusing on a new branch of her interior design company and leaving her interior design company at Luxburn in the hands of her secretary instead. Although she never returns to the city after, she is frequently seen visiting to check on the people who has become acquainted with her in the years there. Having finally accepted herself, she won't deny she's in a happier place now. Despite making the Ireland branch of her interior design company her focus now, Marianne continues to cater to her most avid patrons in Luxburn when requested. And after her work on the Ermengarde mansion, Hannah Evans has never trusted another to handle the design for any of the place she owns. Upon moving back to Evans' mansion after her divorce, Marianne's name is the first thing she calls, and the woman is quick to fly back to the city at the socialite summons. Not only helping with the decorations of the whole place, but also assisting with the renovations, much to Hannah's delight. Since then, the two women have kept a close friendship and business relationship. Often they can be seen going around town together when Marianne's in town, and the Evans heiress can be heard recommending the designer to her peers during parties. Some even may go as far to say Hannah Evans has confided with Marianne McCullough during the tumultuous time of her divorce with Luke Wright. Whatever the case is, one can't deny that both women have found a confidant in the other. With help from family and friends, Zachary Steele is soon able to open a photography studio of his own. Something he has only dreamed of having as a child, although he still hopes to get back to making indie films someday. Client work and small projects has kept him mostly busy. Hectic as it may be, he can only be glad for the amount of work pouring in. It has made moving on from the incident in the Ermengarde mansion easier, if not faster. But while there are still nightmares, with support from his family, his doctor, and his own drive, the dark images have finally turned into pleasant dreams. He's aware he won't ever truly forget, but he's no longer running away. At times, when he's not busy or after a hard day's work, he thinks there's another story for the big screen to be told in that. An idea he may soon turn into reality once his time affords it. In the months that follow, Rebecca Gales becomes a prominent researcher within Luxburn's major academic circles, especially after writing what she has discovered about Ansem Village and the Ermengarde mansion. With the help from Professor Andrew Clark, she is soon able to secure funding to continue her research, presenting her findings yearly at local and international symposiums. Now, at the tail end of her current study, she hopes to publish her first book, correcting all inaccuracies in the city's current history. A move supported by both colleagues, students, and friends alike. Though she knows she still has a long way to go before she can even begin to change people's minds about it, Professor Clark has warned her as much. She perseveres. Doing it not for herself, but for the sake of a history for the future generation must never forget. No matter how disturbing her experience with the curse may have been, she remains the worrywart she has always been. Even after what she has seen, she continues to fret over people she cares about, sometimes much to their frustration or embarrassment. But if there's one thing that has shifted, it's her relationship with the people in her little group, particularly with Zachary Steele. In fact, on numerous occasions, she has been spotted dropping by his new studio, bringing the man food on days when she's swamped with work. They also seem to have grown more comfortable around each other than before. Maybe it's born out of their shared experience, or maybe the way they see each other has simply changed naturally due to the years they've known each other. Regardless of why, it's a change the man welcomes and appreciates. In turn, he strives to return her kind gestures when he can. For all the horrors they've seen, who would have thought something good will come of it? Although he's not seen as frequently with his friends, recently due to work, when Ashton Frey finds the time, he sometimes helps out with Rebecca with her research. Mostly just to help her bring research materials. Despite Rebecca's old feelings for the man, they remain good friends to this day. She never brings it up again after the night of her confession. Once is enough. While she still cares for Ashton as a dear friend, it is clear she has already moved on from her childhood crush. Finally accepting it as part of her life that has already gone by, much like everything that has changed between them. And with this acceptance comes a more selfless person who genuinely cares for her friends beyond any selfish feelings she used to cling to. Looking back at it now, she recognized that how things played out is certainly for the better. Not only for others, but also for herself. Amidst her struggles, Rebecca finds an unlikely companion in Luke Wright. While he avoids the city like a plague nowadays after losing both his company and Hannah, he manages to drop by from time to time. Mostly to check on his goddaughter, Kylie Suarez, though the man still won't admit it when asked. Rebecca still regards the man as insufferable. She doubts it'll ever change. But after all she has seen, much as she denies it, she now considers his presence the closest thing she has to comfort. A similar sentiment the former businessman seems to hold, even confining the woman of his problems, petty or otherwise. Their friendship may be awkward at best, but with the grim reality of death having once shadowed over the two of them, it's something they eventually grow fond of in time. With her newfound courage, Isabela Santos finally chooses to pursue what she really wants for herself. Having made enough to keep her family afloat for a few years, and with their blessing, she quits her job at Briar Realty Corporation and takes the scholarship offer from the local university. Though remarkably out of practice and unsure if she'll be able to keep up by the time she returns to university, she finds her feet soon enough with help from people close to her. And with her confidence in her skills growing, so do the number of people recognizing her and her work. It doesn't take long for several award-giving bodies to take notice of her. For all her accomplishments, however, she has never truly forgotten what happened at the Ermengarde mansion. The images still remain in her, and particularly unpleasant nights, terrors continue to visit her dreams. She knows those will never disappear from her life. It has become a part of her in the same way death has permanently taken from her. However, she's no longer afraid, and with a brave face she carries on, earnestly wishing that someday she'll be able to paint brighter, more vivid thoughts on her canvas. An honest portrayal of life and hope amidst the fear. Shortly after accepting the scholarship grant from Luxburn University, Isabela moves from Salomon residences in favor of staying in a dorm close to her campus. Although she makes the decision out of convenience, she won't deny also doing it out of a desire to avoid another awkward encounter with Rebecca. Awkward encounter? Following the aftermath of the curse, the relationship between the two girls have turned lukewarm at best. While no harsh words have been exchanged yet, their wordless silences since the incident has only pushed them to the further apart. Isabela leaves her home of 5 years with a heavy heart. And even though she has jokingly complained about Rebecca's bossy attitude in the past, she confesses missing the woman's fussing. Despite their tense parting, she still carries hope they will one day be able to fix whatever has come between them. But if there will be a chance for it is a question they both ask until now. More than a year later, once everything in their respective lives was settled, Zachary Steele and Isabela Santos finally hold their first exhibit together. A project that has been in the making for almost 2 years after the photographer casually brought it up to the other artist. While merely intended as a small event, it has been surprisingly attended by several members of Luckburn's upper class and art enthusiasts. Although only a few of the pieces have been meant for sale, the show has brought prominence to Zachary and Isabela's name in the city's art scene. It has since been followed by several other exhibits by the two, both in and out of the city. Currently, they are planning to hold their first show overseas. Yet even with this unexpected, overwhelming fame, friendship between the two has remained strong. Theirs, after all, is a bond that goes beyond being mere partners in a small project. He's her family as much as she is his. While she's aware she still has plenty of ways to go, getting back to school, she has also opened lots of opportunities for Isabella. At times, part-time work have started to come in droves, and she is able to support herself financially through her art alone. Something she has only dreamed of as a child, and when clients are generous enough, she's able to send money back home as well, despite her family's reassurances. One such client is Marianne McCullough's interior design company, who frequently commissions her for murals after the woman has learned of her skill. Though at times, she finds it difficult to keep up with her interior designer's standard for quality, it's a job and a challenge she's only too happy to accept if it means doing what she loves. Following her success in bringing the Luxburn firm case to a close, Ashton Frey receives a recommendation for transfer to Luxburn's lead agency against organized crimes. An endorsement eagerly backed by the newly appointed successor to the late Chief Inspector Lee, Abigail Harris. Why does that name sound familiar? Knowing he'll have more resources, leeway, and a bigger chance at ultimately bringing Luke Wright to justice, Ashton Frey accepts. He still warns the people close to him against Wright and his associates, but only a friendly reminder now, more than anything. Though he does worry, he believes they are wise enough to know that they are what they are doing and trust their judgment. For now, he has decided to leave the evidence in the law to speak for itself and to take care of the man once the proper time comes. Nowadays, police work and operations keep him busy, sometimes taking him away from the city he grew up in for days on end. A rare thing for him to enjoy once upon a time, yet this time, he never loses his drive. Simply growing more determined after having finally found a clear purpose close to the rush and excitement he dreamed of as a child. Although Ashton still keeps mum about specific details of his work, his experience with the curse has slowly taught him how to open up. Especially those who he knows that genuinely care for him. He still has a long way to go, he knows that, but for the sake of the people who are still with him, those who have chosen to stay, he hopes there will come a day when he no longer has to hide behind his own lies. A day when he is no longer afraid of facing the truth in his own words. On his days off, Ashton is usually seen loitering around Zachary Steele's studio, either to help him put on one of his pet projects or exasperating the other man on purpose. Either or, it's mostly the latter. At certain times, he'll volunteer to model for one of Zach's projects in spite of the photographer's reassurances that it's not needed. Regardless, Ashton insists, but complain of how meticulous the whole process is hours later, to Zach's utter amusement. Though sometimes they may get into small, trivial arguments, things have stayed cordial between the two. If anything, the ordeal they've both gone through has merely strengthened a friendship the detective didn't expect to find in anyone. Between the lingering trauma and their measly attempts at normalcy, it takes a few months for the awkwardness to finally lift both for Ashton Frey and Isabella Santos. Of several weeks trying to find their voice and remember how to act around each other despite enduring affections. But once the unease fades, there's only their usual banter and rapport to fall back on, the casual talk and the friendly jibes. And for the both of them, it's easy, like breathing, like coming home after another journey, a comfort in spite of the things they have gone through. Their days may still be filled with petty arguments and light teasing, but in the aftermath, when all has been said and done, something constant has already been forged between them. A quiet, steadfast thing they can both hold on to as they both carry on. Now, I understand yeah, see?
I've never been a winner. I didn't want to play. I thought there was a way out, but there's no exit from this maze.
What in the world?
Where every path is the wrong turn, and every choice is a mistake. I lied to the Lord, I lied to myself, I lied to you and everyone I care, until there were no more lies to tell.
This is a beautiful song.
This is easier than being brave,
But,
I must have found the
okay, I'm gonna let her keep saying.
sing my love letter to you. 'Cause people can lie, but my lone
I don't-
heart beats true.
Like, there's so many unanswered questions. Is there gonna be a second one? Is there gonna... I mean, I noticed there's different choices. There's a true ending. I had read about that, like, you have to go and do all these... You basically have to let, like, 3 people just be murdered to have a which I don't want. I don't want anyone dying.
Yes, they say
Alright, I mean, I guess I should give my review about the game. Now that it's all said and done. First off, stunning visuals. Beautiful story. Incredible voice acting. Everything was done just wonderful. This game is... It's been a journey. It has been one hell of a journey. And, you know, I mean, I'm glad it's done, but I wish there was more... I just really wish... I feel like there were just so many unanswered questions. And maybe that's the point. Because you're not always going to have the answers to everything. Everything isn't going to come as simple. And that's kind of been the theme of this whole game, right? Like, the decisions you make, they've been hard. I think how everything ended, other than the divorce, I'm sad about the divorce, but everything else, I'm happy the way it turned out for all their lives in the epilogue. You know, this is the truth about me. I always hate endings. I hate them. Like, there's stuff that I want to end, right? But, like, when it comes to a story, like, this was a story. This wasn't a game. This was a story. I hate endings to stories. I hate endings to chapters. It's the same way in life, right? And of course, with an ending, there's a new beginning, as always. It's one of those things where, like, you know, like with like Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, like the Aragon book series, like when those ended, it was really sad. And this is really sad. Like, I have dedicated I've literally dedicated months to this game. This has been my longest running, most dedicated series I've done. And that'll always kind of hold a special place in my heart for YouTube. Like, cause if, say, I get popular and get a following and things come of it, then, you know, it'd be so awesome. I don't know. Oh. Yeah, so I'm going to be doing... I might go back. I might do this as like a finale, question mark? And then like go back and choose Burn the Letter instead of the mansion. Oh.
Theo? Where are you, Theo? Theo? Please? She's here! She's still here, Theo! Help me! Please!
What the fuck? Well, Kylie's dead. Okay. Dear you, if you're reading this, that means you finished playing the game in one way or another. And we thank you for the time you spent playing The Letter. This game is our passion project more than anything, and we sincerely hope we've delivered in bringing you a one-of-a-kind visual novel experience. The Letter is, hopefully, the first of many visual novels coming from us. Ooh, yes! If you liked what we did with this game and would like to support us, please consider donating to our Patreon account. You can also follow us on social media to get the latest updates. Our usual handle is Yang Yang Mobile. Thank you so much for everything. Let's talk soon. Love, YYM team. Okay. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. And I've been going on for a really long time, so I'm sorry. What I'm going to do is this. I'm going to label this as the finale. I'm going to record more episodes, though. I'm going to go back and burn just The Letter, see if anything changes, and you guys can come with me as a part of that. So, yeah, so... But as of right now, we're not done with the letter, but we're to close the chapter right here, right now. So, for those of you who have followed me through this game this entire time, thank you so much. Rachel, big shout out to you, because I know you've really been following. Hopefully, your husband will catch up soon enough, one way or the other. Especially now that he knows it's done. But yeah, it's crazy. I didn't think it would end so abruptly. I thought there would be a little more. There were just so many unanswered questions. So many unanswered questions. And so I want to do a lot of research into the game and see all the different endings and theories and stuff. But I want to do burn the letter, go back and change that decision and see how that changes things. I mean, yeah, that's pretty fucked. She's dead. Kylie's dead. But then, you know, and that makes me wonder, like, they're all living their lives. So, does that mean she's coming to kill them all now? I don't know. It's that ending. I did not expect that. That came out of nowhere. And I had literal chills going down my spine. Like, that was super creepy. Anyway. Thank you guys for being on this journey for me. It really means a lot. And if you're a new viewer, if you're going back, if I, become successful, and you're like, oh, let's go check out this. This is a really long series. Oh, what? Let's give it a look. Then thank you for coming and checking it out. I really appreciate it. And I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you could deal with me starting off with this game and me getting better. It's actually kind of cool. That's the other cool thing that's been cool doing this series. You've slowly been seeing me, like, progressing as a YouTuber. Not in, like, fame, but as in, like, it sounding better and looking better. I mean, obviously, I have the little electronic static, and I'm working to get rid of that. But unfortunately, it'll cost me a good bit of money. So, but sound is everything to me, so I'm trying to make that right. But thank you guys so much for watching. As always, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like, and I'll do the best I can to make it right. I'm Llama Joe, also known as Michael Hanna. And I'll catch you guys later, not just in the next extra little bits I do of this, but in the next game I decide to play, and the next journey we decide to go on together. Have a good one. And I'll see you later.